Hey y'all, it's me, Candace, and I'd like to welcome you all back to the Candace Effect. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. This is a place where we have a few different conversations where you're going to be able to be seen, heard, and possibly change. Meaning, the things that we talk about here might make you think and might make you feel different. But if this isn't your first time and you're coming back, welcome back. You already know what we do here. First of all, I want to say thank you. I have to say this. I say it every single time, but I'm never going to go into an episode without showing my gratitude. Thank you to everybody that's been a constant listener, that's been giving me all this positive feedback and really interested in what I'm doing here. I'm glad that it's touching the people that it needs to touch. I'm even glad that it's touching the people that they didn't expect to be touched or moved. Every time somebody talks to me about the Candace effect and they actually get it, I'm so excited. Sometimes I get tears in my eyes just because I'm just that way, an emotional person by nature. But I'm so excited. I can't keep telling you guys how excited I am without just like, oh my gosh, jumping through the roof. But anyway, before we get started, I want to say this is my sixth episode. It is still surreal to me that I'm doing this. Kind of crazy, but I'm excited. Meaning 6 consecutive episodes of The Candace Effect, 6 consecutive episodes of feelings and emotions that we're talking about. I started a live that I go live on YouTube and I've gone live on TikTok as well, where we just actually have some live conversations where we talk about our day and I let people get on and chat with me about different questions and aspects. And that's been fun too. So if you're interested in doing that, catch me on live sometime. It's been fun. But today, what I want to talk about is a few different things. Last time when we talked about it being the last week of school for me. With it being the last week of school, that means there's a lot of transitioning that was going on. You got kids that are moving away, kids that are moving on to the next grade level, meaning going to fifth grade. I had coworkers that are retiring and moving to other buildings and doing things of that nature. So all of that constitutes to me as change, right? For me, I'm a person who builds relationships with people. So sometimes when you build relationships with people, it's kind of hard, right? It's kind of hard to make that transition to something new. A lot of the fifth graders were coming up to me and I greet them in the morning. I'm in the hallway with my cream of rice and eggs and strawberries, and they all come and they're looking at my food like, "What are you eating this morning, Miss Jones?" And I'm always like, "A cream of rice and blueberries today." Cream of rice and strawberries. It's the same thing. Cream of rice, strawberries, and eggs. Of course, I've talked about it before. I'm in prep. I can't even get into that conversation because guess what? My show is on Saturday. I'm not even getting into it, but this is peak week. Anyway, back to the point. The kids come up and they're looking at me because that's our little time. I check in with the kids, make sure everybody's okay, make sure everybody's having a good morning, make sure nobody's messing with them on the bus. I greet the new kids to let them know, "Hey, it's me, Miss Jones. I'm your first friend that you meet at the school." Just making sure that the mornings are a good start. Mornings are not good for everybody. So I've just kind of been that person that they check in with in the morning. They talk to me, let me know things in that nature. I've been told things like, "Oh, my grandma passed away and they need like an extra hug," or "Miss Jones, my mom couldn't find my socks this morning," and all of these things are relatable, and it's just like I'm a listening ear for them. "Do you need me to do such and such for them? Or would you like for me to call your mom and see if she could bring you some more socks?" Whatever it is. So you build these relationships with these kids, and then now at the end of the year, it's the end of the year. So you have fifth graders that were coming up to me and they were asking me things like, "Miss Jones, do you think that middle school is going to be hard? I'm scared to go to middle school." And I asked them, "Why are you scared to go to middle school?" And it was like, "On the movies, all the kids are mean and it's bullies. And what if I don't make friends? And I just don't want to leave here. You're not going to be at middle school. And it's just, I don't know anybody over there. I don't want to go. I want to stay in fifth grade." And all of those things are normal, right? Because we're comfortable where we are. We're comfortable. Once you've gone through kindergarten and you go up through 5th grade, it's like, "I'm comfortable here. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go." But after you outgrow something, what do you have to do? You can't stay in it. Like, I don't care how much you like a pair of shoes, right? You could have a pair of shoes when you're growing, and after you've outgrown them, you can't stay in them because your feet start to hurt. They start to fall apart, and then if your shoes don't fit, you can't run the same way. You like, ugh, it's hard. Anytime you outgrow clothing or anything, it's hard because you like, now that I've outgrown it, I have to get rid of it and it's time for me to do something new. So I explain to the kids when I'm talking to them that, you know, it's okay to be for something new. Like, it's very much so scary to start something new, especially if it's something that's unfamiliar and you already have a perception that, you know, this is going to be hard for me. It's so many times, like, I guess I've been fortunate because I live in the same area that I've lived my whole entire life. Like, I've never had to move. So the people that I grew up with, 9 times out of 10, I can bump into them when I go to the store or am at the bank, or our kids will play together or they'll go to school together because why? Because I've been in the same place my whole entire life. That's fortunate for me. But I do have friends that were military and they move around all the time. So it's different for them. They are not able to have the same connections. Like when we were growing up, if somebody was in the military, you would have to get their address and hopefully that they would be able to write to you. And then later on, it was via email. But now kids have social media and it's a little bit easier. So I'm fortunate that the foundation and the friends that I've had since I was a kid, I'm able to have. But there's lots of people that move around, like especially now. In my school, we have a really, really, really big Hispanic community. And what we were dealing with, honestly, the reality is that a lot of kids were having to go back to their native countries. It's very unfortunate because they come here and whatever you believe, okay, because this is not that platform where I want to hear somebody's opinion about why somebody should be here or not. Our school was a safe place for these kids and they fled their countries for whatever reason. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to do anything, but this became their new normal. And they would have to come up to me and they'd be crying and they'd be like, "Well, Miss Jones, I'm leaving. I have to leave because my dad got picked up or my mom got picked up or we're afraid because ICE was in my neighborhood last night." And it's very, very sad because these kids are so innocent. And it's a big change for them because they've been here and they've learned something new and normal. I don't know what to tell somebody in that situation because I've never been in that situation. The student that talked to me about middle school, I can definitely tell him how middle school, I've been trying to tell the kids that you get to recreate yourself. You get to recreate yourself. You get to be somebody different. You can, it's the same people that might be going there, but then it's also going to be so many other different people. And you're going to grow so much over the summertime. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's okay to grow. It's okay for change. Change can be scary sometimes. When you're stepping into something different, stepping into something unfamiliar, oh my gosh, it's so hard. I will never forget my first time going to middle school. We had middle school orientation and we got to wear new clothes. I had on some filas, some jeans. I had my hair done in a certain way and I had on like this pullover and it was like, okay, I'm going to this new school. Now for me, it was a huge shock It was a huge shock because I went from this school that was very, very, very diverse. My elementary school was very diverse. It was a melting pot, actually. I had kids from all walks of life, and it was a melting pot for our city. Like kids from all different areas in the city were able to be friends. So I had friends that were Jewish, I had friends that were Hispanic, I had friends that were, you know, black, white, I even had like a friend that was from Ukraine or whatever growing up. So I learned about like all different kind of things. That's the kind of school that I went to. So side by side, diversity was my thing, right? When I went to middle school, by the way, shout out to all my friends that went to middle school with me. When I tell you it was a culture shock, when I tell you it was a culture shock for me to go to middle school, baby, I was going from Get Elementary was my school. If you're from here, it's like a school that, like I said, super diverse to Lake Taylor Middle. That school was very urban, very much so urban. My only taste of urban America was when I would watch it on movies. I definitely lived in the neighborhood that I grew up in, but I didn't live in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Like I would only go to the parks and the Boys and Girls Club. That's the only interaction that I had with my friends here because my school was a different place. My dad worked in Chesapeake, so all the things that we did was in a different city, completely different. So I was plucked out of this one situation and put into this whole urban situation. Complete culture shock. People used to pick on me, call me names, say certain things about me. It was the funniest thing ever. Culture shock. To be a brown woman, to say that I had culture shock being around other brown people, I caught on real fast. It was funny to me. But I'm saying that to say I made a lot of friends. I fit in very well. I still to this day get called a white girl for the way that I talk. Don't say that in the comments because just don't do it. But for me, it was a culture shock. I jumped into middle school. I wasn't scared. More so it was for me, it was like a thing like, this is different. These kids are real different than I am, but they weren't real different than I was. Like I just had to learn something new. Went from sixth grade to eighth grade, then now I'm going to the high school with the bigger kids. These kids are grown and they're bigger. So I might have been a little bit scared also. But every time you grow to a new stage, what is it? It is a new transition. It's a transition from adult to adulthood. You go from middle school to high school. You go from high school to wherever you go. It's going to be something new. Change is a good thing. Growth is a good thing. I want to say, don't be afraid when it's something new. Don't be afraid when it's time to change. Go into new situations with open eyes and an open heart. It's scary sometimes when you're around people that are not your people per se. Just go into it with a new aspect of yourself, like a new life. Just go into it with something new. After having 6 kids, right? Everybody is different. Every time that they had to start something new, it was sad for me and it was sad. It was sad to see them grow, but it was also a good thing to see them go. Like, yay. I'm happy for you. My kids went from high school and then some of them transitioned from high school to military, high school to regular life, but then they just had to adjust. Then once they eventually left home, it was like, you have to do something new. You got to do something new. So I want to say this. This is what I want to end with. Don't be afraid of change. I'm telling you that from my point of view and my perspective. I've had to change in so many things that I thought, well, I would never be this. I would never be this person or have to go through this experience. And now I'm embarking on change. What do? You jump in the pool and swim. You gotta jump in the pool and swim. Sometimes you drown. Hopefully you won't. But if you're in the water long enough, you gonna fight until you learn how to swim. And it's okay. Don't be afraid of change. Jump in, swim, and just learn something new. And before you know it, you'll be swimming like a fish. You'll be used to it. And then you'll be ready for a new pond. Because we always outgrow the pond that we're in. It's going to be awkward at first. It's going to be hard. But you won't know how hard it is until you jump in. I'm going to say this one more time because I say it every time. Give yourself grace. And until we talk again, be good to yourself. Peace.